popular social media superstar, the renowned content creator, the serial risk taker, and undefeated fighter, introducing the problem child, Jake Paul!
That's the first nose. That's me. There's no way. That ain't gonna do it.
You're doing really good. All right.
Leyenda continúa. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Who's left?
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
The fight was the early rounds could be decisive, and it is quite close.
Jake, I know there was a lot of talk about him and his power. You took his shots pretty well, and you knocked him
no,
out.
his power wasn't that crazy. He just had good speed, good combinations.
Yeah.
But Anderson and Tyron hit really hard, so I was used to that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Didn't think I'd ever have to make one of these videos, but it happens, I guess. This is still the best job in the world. Thank you all for the support. This was an amazing event, and I'll be back. No worries, cuz.
Jake, how'd you feel in there?
I just felt flat, man. Not my best performance. I guess that happens in the sport. You know, you got to peak right at the right moment. You only get one night, one chance, and I messed that up, I guess. But man, you got to take it on the chin. But it was good. Some good moments in there. I just really couldn't get my game plan working. But hey, man, this is what the sport's all about. You win some in glorious fashion, and you lose some. And like I said out there, judging about my losses, because I'll be back. You know, I think he was just really well prepared, and I think it was more.
With the Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. clash just days away, DAZN Boxing dropped an exclusive segment featuring both fighters, along with some high-profile guests sharing their thoughts, and hype is through the roof. One voice standing out was UFC star Arman Tsarukyan. He couldn't hide his fascination with Jake Paul. "Jake's a legend," he said. "To start boxing this late and still be good, that's not easy." Tsarukyan was impressed not only by Jake's hunger to prove the world wrong, but also by how agile and explosive he is. "He's huge, hits hard and still moves like a real boxer," he added Tsarukyan's prediction. "Jake's ready, and he's going to take this one." Now, on paper, it sounds crazy to bet on Jake Paul over Chavez Jr., but based on Chavez's recent performances and how far Paul has come, there's actually a real argument to be made, and Tsarukyan isn't alone in backing Jake. Another legend also gave a shock prediction. 6th Division champ Oscar De La Hoya, with two of his fighters Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez and Floyd Schofield fighting on the undercard, and Golden Boy Promotions co-promoting the event. Oscar's got skin in the game. A few days ago, De La Hoya spiced things up the only way he knows how, Golden Boy style, wearing nothing but a roband, then dramatically removing a Tosker, shared his full card predictions in his underwear. His picks for the No surprise he backed Raul Carrillo, Floyd Schofield, and Zurdo Ramirez. But the real twist came when he called the main event. After a tough 12-round war, Oscar predicted, Jake Paul wins by split decision. That's right, he thinks Jake pulls off the upset. Jake's next step in the boxing world continues this Saturday. When the influencer-turned-fighter takes on former world champ Chavez Jr., it's his second straight fight against a former champ beating 58-year-old Mike Tyson in November. While Chavez isn't that old, he's 39, he hasn't been a serious contender in over a decade. Even at his best, Chavez never reached the legendary heights of his father. His career has often been overshadowed by drama and self-inflicted setbacks. At the final press conference, Chavez Jr. didn't hold back. "He's not a good fighter," he said flatly. "He tries, he trains, but he's not good. If Jake's a good boxer, then everyone else on this stage is a legend, and we all know that's not true. And maybe that's why Chavez Jr. is the perfect Jake Paul opponent." Jake has built a career fighting past their prime names while still making massive money. He kicked things off by beating fellow YouTuber Anna Songib, then went viral for knocking out ex-NBA player Nate Robinson. After that, it was a UFC parade. Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley twice, and Anderson Silva. Then came his only loss, a narrow split decision to Tommy Fury. But Paul bounced back fast, beating Nate Diaz and then real boxers like Andre August and Ryan Berlin, though those wins didn't move the needle much. With interest dipping, Jake returned to what works. Former MMA stars, he crushed bare-knuckle brawler Mike Perry for his 7th stoppage win. Then came the Tyson spectacle. Sure, it sold huge, but the fight was underwhelming. Jake clearly held back, outboxing Tyson without doing any real damage. And now, we're here. Paul versus Chavez Jr. Chavez has the name, the past title, and experience. But he also checks all the usual Paul opponent boxes, past his prime, and undersized for cruiserweight. He's a great fighter, Jake said respectfully. I want big names, legends, and he's part of my path to a world title. This is a tough challenge, but I'm here to shock the world again. After Saturday, I'm making a run at the championship. To be fair, Jake was close to a deal with Canelo Alvarez earlier this year until Canelo used the talks as leverage before signing a 3-fight deal with Riyadh Season. So now we're back to what Jake does best, beating names people know. And while Chavez isn't what he once was, he's still spent his life in the boxing world, and this fight might just be Paul's riskiest yet. And that's a wrap for now. For the latest fight news, knockout moments, and all things boxing, make sure to subscribe to Boxonic and hit that bell icon so you never miss a round. Until next time, stay sharp, peace.